Alright guys, so this is my attempt of content for a little while. I have been super busy, so I haven't had as much time to go out and record stuff. As you guys know, I try to get stuff that's not been recorded 1,000 times, and it's getting, to find that stuff, you gotta drive further and further nowadays, so it's getting kind of boring driving by myself to go get stuff further and further away that's not recorded. But anyways, for the meantime here, we're going to do a quick Siren collection update. We have some new stuff since the last time I've made a video with anything related to the Sirens. I think the last one was probably the tornado drill video where you saw these three together. But of course, right off the bat, we have the OG Siren for my collection. We have the Federal Sign and Signal Model 7. From Hickston, Wisconsin. This got replaced around 2010, 2011, something like that, by a 2001 130. You guys have seen this numerous times. It's the severe weather siren here, so every time there's a severe thunderstorm warning, this baby's wailing. So, not sure if you guys care to see anything in there. Cast iron core. Of course, you got your stator in there. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. It's extremely hot out. This was the day of the 95-degree weekends, so it's really hot out right now. Here we have the ex-Zimmerman, Minnesota 10V. This was from 1998, and it was replaced by an Eclipse because there was some family of squirrels that built a nest somewhere in the stator cavity that caused the rotor to lock up completely. So the Siren suffered locked rotor current, and then the stator or the rotor completely seized up for some reason. So whatever it was powerful enough to lock up a 10-horse rotor. So, but nothing special about this. It's single phase, obviously. You can see in there's the key shaft. Not too much about this. This baby is the auxiliary siren. So for some reason, the Model 7 was down, or the Thunderbolt was down. I'd wire this baby up, and then she would rip as the backup siren for severe weather or tornadoes. So that was the one from the tornado drill we tested. So both got their own pallets that they're sitting on. They get weed control, so they're one of the only sirens that need lawn treatment because the weeds, they're already growing back up. I just cut this like a week ago, so they're already growing back up. No one's ever seen this yet, but I think it's time. It's been overdue. Here is the radio controller for the Siren. This is the water pump panel that was off the 10V itself. So this was actually on that site. I'm gonna need two hands to pop this open here, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna get it with one. So this was off. The 10V was on the pole. And so we have a Baofeng board. We have timers, we have a terminal block, and then just a bunch of relays in here. And all it is essentially an on-off system with timers. So it's radio controlled. So when I send a signal from the house, the board activates a function, which is just on, and it trips the relays to activate the starter to turn on the siren. So whatever siren is wired in, right now the Model 7's wired in. This is the 10V wiring right here, or a piece of it, the L1 side of it, so the 8 gauge. So right now the Model 7's wired in because we've had severe weather lately, so I don't want to have to come, running out here to change wiring over. So, but both have been activated by the radio, and then there's just a manual starter right here for the sirens. So that's that, and then yeah, it's probably not good for the casing when you do that, but you can see if the coax goes up, and then there's the antenna for the severe weather siren there. It's technically the severe weather siren setup because the Thunderbolt is not on there yet. Speaking of Thunderbolt, here's the ever-loving Thunderbolt that everybody loves. Not much has changed here other than the motor. If you remember from the old videos, from the videos of the annual event, this was the motor that was in there, this 5-horse right here, and it was time to get her upgraded to something else. So I'm not going to pull this off because it really takes 2 hands to pull this thing off. There's a 7.5-horse motor in here now that is running the Siren at actual proper specifications, to say the least. RC3, RC6, nothing's changed in here. The RC6 is dead. The toe modulator is completely shot on it, so eventually this is probably just going to go bye-bye. Terminal block, rotator, spur gear, gear reducer, everything you need in there. Here's the unistrut off the piece of unistrut off the thing I'm going to show you guys in a second here, or why it looks like this. Unistruts are not supposed to look like that, by the way. All in there is the parts for the Thunderbolts, so all the bolts, everything off the pole, the mounting flange. You guys have seen inside there. I'm not going to open it up. That is the guts of a first-gen AF timer, and then phone relays for when it was on the pole. And I guess for the record, there's the MS 590, right? Someone can let me know. I haven't powered that thing up in years, so I kind of forgot about it. Here is the newly acquired Beaver Valley Banshee 115. That bird is super freaking annoying. But Alfie and I pulled this one apart last week. This was a process to pull apart. But here's the 912 rotor out of it. So just here for now. The motor, armature, and all that is with Alfie right now. He's ordering parts for it. It needs a bearing change out, and I'm not sure if it needs a varnish or if it needs to be revarnished or not. But there's the stator assembly for it. The hat for the Banshee is right over here. Or no, the base for the Banshee is right over here. That's the part that sits on below the stator. And then the mounting flange is below the stator. We just put it on top of there. All right, so we'll go check out the Sirens in the other shed now. Okay, so down here in the other shed, we have a bunch of stuff now. This is the controls off the Hibbing, Minnesota 2001. There's 2 of them. I was storing it for someone and I ended up with the cabinets. So here is the cabinets. There's nothing inside there, literally. All there is a couple of coils and it is completely junk. So as you can tell, it's pretty rusted out. So we have no use for them. So they're probably just gonna go to the scrapyard at some point, unless some enthusiast wants them. I'm not really sure. I guess if anybody wants them from this video, let me know. All electronic cabinets, Tempest cabinets, technically an electronic cabinet. Oh, there goes the fiberglass. Popular 3 board in here, amps. This is off the O'Fallon all-electronic, O'Fallon E-Class. This is the E-Class horn. One of the A-Class horns, and then the all-electronic, I think the all-electronic's from O'Fallon as well. I'm not 100% sure. O'Fallon, Illinois. So, 8 amps in here. Regulators, coil, or terminal block, all that good jazz. This is the Popular 3 board. There's the actual board. Live voice or local voice, whatever the proper terminology is for it. Alfie and I are going to try to get this running someday. So there's that. Here's all the electronic horns. There's inside the actual electronic itself, there's all such of drivers and stuff that we shoved in there when we were unloading it. Here's the 7 V8. I cannot remember for the life of me where this is from, but you could see when we brought it in here, we parked it right under the beam where the birds sit. So now the motor is slightly covered in bird waste. Here's the pole mount for the Century, horns for the Century are over there. The top hat for the Century is right over there too. Here's the starter box. There's just a contactor in there. It's literally all that's in there. You can actually open it up here. You see the birds. So just a contactor in there. I think Alfie Alfie and I put a seal on here because when we didn't even have this in here for a week and the mice were already in here. So if there's any holes in the 2001 cabinet, they're in there. So back here, that's just the door. Back here, the contactor from the Model 7 previously is now down here. So we have a place to run this stuff. This is going to be kind of the new testing site for new Sirens. The ones that like aren't up there, because down here you can have a little bit of hill up on the other side outside the shed here, so it blocks a little bit of the sound so we don't annoy the neighbors as much, especially when we get the Banshee running. That's going to be quite loud. Oh, here's the actual hat from the Banshee. I guess we didn't move it up there. So other than that, that pretty much concludes it. I don't think I have anything else here for now. Yeah, I think I mentioned everything that's pretty much here for now. Sorry on that, stay updated. I have an acquisition that's planned. It's going to be quite a big acquisition, so stay tuned for that. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but there will definitely be some posts about it. So it's a big surprise for everybody once I get to that point, and once the Siren is actually down, there will definitely be some photos. So yeah, other than that, stay tuned. I got to get out and try to record some more Sirens. So other than that, thank you guys for watching.